Life becomes simple when we stop trying to fix it. There is a friction that comes from trying to fix life, and trying to make life easier sounds reasonable, right? But I find that the more I try to make life go my way, the more I'm drawn away from my own inner peace. You get exhausted from always trying to control the situation around you in order to find peace in it. And maybe the most exhausting thing is not wanting peace, it's trying to find it. But you don't control peace, you become it. Peace has nothing to do with the world around you being exactly how we want it to be. That is where the exhaustion comes from. Many folks think they're at peace only when the situation suits them, when things are going how we want it to go. But that feels more like ego, because when the situation changes, we're no longer at peace then. I've been there thinking everything needs to go my way. And the stress of trying to create that life, the stress of trying to manage things and keep it the way you want it, to find peace in it, is exhausting. But that is fear. That was me, the false sense of self, wanting control by regulating every moment in our lives. That's fear. The world tries to create peace through control. If you look, you'll see. And sometimes we do that inwardly. We try to control the mind, control the thoughts, control the situation, control the feelings. Even in our unbecoming or awakening, I like to use the word unbecoming because it's you're shedding all those layers that was created from fear. And the more personal we take life, the more difficult life becomes. But the shift is going from the thought that peace is in something or even someone, or that peace comes from fixing or adjusting our external situation. Basically, peace comes from the outside, how everything around us looks, to a deeper recognition that if you are peace, if you are the perfume of peace, then it's really about how we see it. It's really about what's here and how we perceive it, if that makes sense. The personality that is trying to find peace, or the part of us that is trying to find peace, cannot be our true being or our real self. If you've ever experienced, felt inner peace, there's a stillness there, right? Our true self is still, and that stillness, when it is felt, is what we refer to as peace. That's the feeling, that stillness. The self that is conditioned by the world is always trying to find peace in it. And that's why that personality or that part that is conditioned associates with the world is always trying to fix and create that peace. It's always trying to reach. But peace is still. It doesn't need to fix. When you experience this inner peace, it's not fixing something. It's not correcting anything. It doesn't need to control it. It's just still. And it doesn't need to protect it. That felt peace does not need to protect anything. If something needs to be protected, then for me, that is created. If something needs to be protected. And I don't say this when we talk about protecting our peace, I don't say this to be insensitive. The therapists, the self-help books, the self-improvement technique, the mindset work, even that religious identity, these things can support us. But if they become something we have to constantly maintain in order to be at peace, then I have to ask the question, what are we maintaining? I ask myself the question, what are we maintaining? Is it a state that we're maintaining? Is it an identity that we're maintaining? A version of ourselves that still needs something to recognize its own inner peace? What I see is that most people looking for peace try to create it, either through material things or conditional situations. And I say conditional situation because those things will change. The space, the mindset, that changes. Even creating a new version of yourself, that changes as well. And this only adds another layer that needs to be maintained, and it becomes exhausting trying to maintain. Peace was felt for me when all of those things I created for myself, even the versions of myself, started to fall away. When there was no need for any of it anymore, that's when I felt. That's when I feel the most peaceful. And it doesn't matter who we believe ourselves to be, underneath all of that is the peace we keep trying to find. Even in our unbecoming process, there's the mind that's constantly moving and changing thoughts. That everyone wants a peace of mind, right? But what I recognize now in my process of unbecoming, I don't fight the mind like I used to. I don't chase my thoughts like I used to. I don't try to change them either or stop them anymore. I let them be. I let them be there. The old me would try to control my thoughts. That was me trying to control my peace, because I would associate myself with my thoughts. I believe those thoughts were me. And I would follow them through associating with them. And that would pull me away from the present moment, the current reality. And that's why I say the deeper you know yourself, you don't chase what is not you. The more you know yourself, the more you recognize what is not you. To find one true self is to be at peace. Inner peace is when you finally recognize yourself as presence, stillness. I like to use that word. This flowing, ever flowing awareness. And when I am still and present, it's easier for me to accept whatever the moment brings. I realize that. There's a space there, and I'm free from all of it. I see it, I'm aware of it, but I'm free from all of it. Instead of me trying to fix it. The most peaceful places, in nature, I find when I take my walks in nature, I find the space peaceful. It's just being. If you notice that, it's just being. So when I'm just being, inner peace is there natural. The fragrance of it is there. So inner peace for me is resting in stillness. And when you're resting in stillness, peace becomes your aura. When it's in you, you don't have to create anything around you. And when it's real, it doesn't really need to be maintained. Doesn't need to be maintained. There is no arrogance to life when you're still experiencing inner peace. There's only this fragrance of peace. An arrogant personality will never experience peace, you see. How can it? The false self that wants things to go its way all the time. How can you experience that? That becomes exhausting. That's why I realize the more personalized we try to make our lives, or the more personal we take life, is the more difficult it becomes. The more present we are in it, I find this to be that it becomes more effortless.